It's almost like homecoming. When you're graduated from high school or college and you go back 20 years later, you're like, the building's the same, but it feels a little bit different. I think that's really what it's like. I think the thing I'm looking most forward to is simply sitting beside Rosanna Scotto again. It's been a long time since we were partnered together back on the 10 o'clock news days, and now we both have to get up early in the morning together, so that's going to be fun. But to me, she's always the queen of New York. I mean, she is about as New York as you get. I think being back in the city, I'm looking most forward to being back in the city. And it sounds like a cliche, but there's no energy anywhere like there is in New York. I've been in Southern California the last decade and a half. I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Florida. I grew up in Atlanta. I've lived in London in summers. I've done all over the world. There's no place like New York. And just the energy and the vibe from the moment you step out your door, that's what I'm looking forward to getting back to. The difference is, one, it's going to be different every day. When you do an NFL pregame show, yes, the games are different and the plays that happen, but it's still the same subject. You're always talking about football. When you come into the studios here at Good Day New York, maybe today the weather's the big story. Maybe today it's the election. Maybe it's something that happened that's really fun to talk about, or you have a performer on that you're like, I can't wait to see this person or this group or this act and let them do their thing. So I think that just variety of it is so different than what you get by doing an NFL show that's always about football, as much as I love it. I think I've always been a news nerd. So I've always been someone who's paid attention to what's going on in the world and the world around me. And so this gives me an opportunity to be kind of a part of that. But I keep going back to the variety of it. And I think that that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to, is kind of being able to spread my wings and stretch some muscles that I usually don't get to do by getting a chance to talk beyond sports and talk about what's going on in the world and travel and music and so many different things. I would probably like to sit down with Jay-Z, because I'd like to pick his brain from a music standpoint, but also from a business standpoint. And I think he'd be able to shed some light on a lot of things, but also just kind of what makes him tick. Yes, beyond work, I think the things that I've been fortunate enough to do over the years is travel. I've been to 96 different countries, and so I love getting to different places in the world, because the thing you realize is no matter where you are, everybody's trying to get through it the best they can. And they're trying to take care of themselves and their family. And there are beautiful places that you've never heard of, that aren't on tourist sites. Music is probably high up there. I'm learning to play the guitar, I like to say, but I've been taking lessons for a number of years now. I grew up playing the bass, stand-up bass initially, and then the electric bass. So I played that since I was a teenager, so I'm much more proficient at that. But I just love all genres of music. I love listening to podcasts. And my podcasts are all over the place. Some are travel, some are music, a lot of sports, some are media. So I get a chance to kind of have my ear to the ground with a lot of different things. I think probably the musical aspect of it. I played twice in public in my entire life. Not counting like when you're in high school and you're in the band or the orchestra. Of course I did that. But as an adult, I played at my wedding. My wife and we played Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder, because it's the only song we'd ever played together. And after several drinks, some friends convinced us to play. My wife plays drums, I played the bass, and we were in Italy where we got married, and just borrowed the instruments from the band and played there. And then the second time, I was fortunate enough to be at an event and got invited to play on stage with Dave Grogan. And he played drums and I played bass. And afterwards he looked at me and said, "Don't quit your day job." That's going to be interesting. And I think that's one of the things that actually intrigues me, is I want to see what this looks like. I think we have two different personalities, but I think we're two people who understand the assignment that's given here, and we know what's important to the viewers and impacts their daily life. And I think as long as you have that knowledge and you come at it from that standpoint and make it not about you and about who you are and that kind of thing, but I think at the same time, people are going to get a chance to see us have some fun together And I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most. Let me see, Rosanna would compare, she's definitely not Terry, and that's a benefit for her. She's probably not Michael or Howie, because Howie's very straight-laced. I put her Jenny Johnson, because she's got a little bit of, she can make fun of herself, she can laugh, but she can be serious and break it down for you when you need to. And, the New Yorker in her, she can also get into it with you if she needs to.